In this video, we want to learn something about arrays and especially about a special array, the char array. And I will write our main program again. And before we start, I want to show what is an array first. So first of all, the array is not dedicated to the char data type. We can use it with any data type we want. So we can also use it with integer data types. And we will just declare it as a normal integer, just we have these brackets here. And inside of these brackets, we have a number that is the size of the array. And now we can assign 4 values to this array. Value 1, value 2, and these values are 0 based. So we start counting with 0. So after we reach the index 3, we have 4 values, and that's all. We cannot exceed this size of the array. We will run into a compiler error. We can print this value to the screen now, just like we used to print values. So we can just go ahead and do this. Oh. And execute our program, and we see everything is fine. The index 0 is one that is true. This is the first way to declare an array and to initialize some values. We can also do it a little bit more dynamically. We can also go ahead and do it, which is just the same thing. I just used some other values now, but is also an array with size 4, and all the values are initialized. So if we call this one now, we will just get the same result, just the number is different, of course, because now on index 0 we have a 10. So this is the first way. Oh, and this is a second way. An array always must have a well-defined size. You can't change the size of an array later on. So the second way only works if we already know all of the elements of an array, and we need to initialize all the values when we declare that variable. So on the first example, you can see I say this is an integer and it's an array and it has the size 4, and afterwards I will assign the values. Here I don't tell the size first. I just give all the values to the array, and the compiler now will say, okay, this array must be of size 4. We can change a value later on if we want, like this, but the array will always keep its size. We can't assign a value for the index 4 or something. That will not work anymore. Okay, we want to learn something about character array. The character array is a special array. Oh. First, it looks like the integer array, and this is, I choose the second way, and you can see I do the exact same thing, just with characters, and I also have \0 here, which tells the compiler my word is over here. Here's the end of my string. And now I can also print that to the screen, just like before. I choose index 2 now. And this is the exact same thing. Of course, nothing unexpected will happen. It is an L, and that is true. This is index 0, this is index 1, and this is index 2, and we get the L at this position. But this is, of course, very, very complicated. We don't want to write out every single letter in this way every time we have a character array. And also we don't want to print out every single position of that array by ourselves. So first we want to learn a new format symbol, the S. The S stands for string, and we can output all of that word with just by providing the whole array to the printf function with this format string. I will clear the console and compile it and run it again, so you can see it will print out hello just fine. And now I want to explain the \0 to you. This one is important because sometimes you can't know, maybe, look, now it will just print an A, and I didn't tell him to print out an A. So to close that off, just make sure you always terminate your strings the right way with \0. Now that is fine. We can print out all of that string. That's okay. But now we also want to have a better way to initialize our character array, and there is a way to do this. Now we have to use double quotes, and on double quotes you don't need to worry about the \0. It will automatically put this in here, and now we can just write it like we normally would, and we can just provide it to the printf function like we did before with the C1. I called it C1 now, and we get the expected result. Now you could ask, okay, what's the difference actually? There is not really a difference. We can use them just the same way. I can just go ahead here and say, okay, give me the letter at position 2, and it will also print out an L, just like before. So this is the same thing, like I wrote hello, and I just pretend I write here hello world, and just imagine I did that, but it's really some kind of weird to do it. It will take ages. This is just the same thing, equals. So I always like to say this is a new data type. It's the string data type you know from other languages like maybe C++ or C# or something. And this one, usually you don't use a character array this way. You will use the character array as a string. it's also a little bit more convenient to print that out and to work with the string itself. But we will also have some situations where we will use the first one, and we need to know that the string really just is an array of characters. That will be very important later on. You will see that when we work with the character array, and when we write some little programs like counting words or counting lines or something, we need to know all the specialties about the character array, and this one is important, as well as the fact that every string just is an array of characters. That is very important. You need to take that from this lesson. Okay, yeah, I hope you understood everything fine. If not, just use the comment section. I will try my best to make another video, maybe answer open questions or whatever. See you in the next video, and yeah, bye.